This video will be episode 29, starting on day 209 of the Black Lion Origins campaign. Last episode, we lost Garantor Castle, as we knew we would. But as the Battanians were moving in on Garantor to siege it, we positioned ourselves to do a counter siege of Abcomer on the Battanian-Blandian border. I sieged Abcomer and was able to have a fight against the defending forces there, but I tried to employ the same tactic that I used when I took Garantor, which was to retreat my troops from the battlefield and fight their garrison myself. And I did not have the same result as we did at Garantor. I fell in the battle. They came at me with not only their infantry but also their archers, and ultimately I was not able to win the day there. And having fallen in that battle, I wasn't then willing to auto-resolve, knowing that those results would not go in my favor. Abcomer had nearly 300 troops defending it, and I only took out like 42. And so the remaining force would have absolutely destroyed my warband. So what I wanted to do was to just continue the siege and to heal up, but I wasn't able to do that. The Battanian lords grouped together and came and pushed me off of my siege, so I had to abandon that and retreat. And so now we are, the plan is we're going to push into the Battanian kingdom and attack their nobles in their homelands and hope to weaken the Battanian forces before making another attempt at one of their castles. So I have my troops posted up in the distance, and I'm assaulting these Battanian troops, softening them up, you might say. They're trickling in here. That works very much to my advantage. We managed to separate a good chunk of their troops away from the main force that is advancing on my archer line, and that produced very favorable results for us. There's quite a bit of so they're putting together an army. I think they must be at war with someone new, because I don't have any fiefs. I don't know why they'd put together an army to fight me. So we've caught 2 Battanian nobles in one battle here, but they've only got me outnumbered by it's less than 20. I feel like I ought to be able to let's take this out, though they are showing a whole lot of spear chuckers, which are intimidating. They not only can they one-shot me, in the right position, but they are particularly hard on my crossbowmen, who are prone longer as they attempt to reload their crossbows, and they have shields to defend themselves against the crossbowmen besides. So yeah, spear chuckers are really pretty good answer to ranged troops like archers. I'm able to catch their archers out, separated from their group, and and I was able to deal with them pretty satisfactorily. I'm going to go ahead and create some distance so that they can't be hitting me with their javelins, and I'm going to go ahead and dump my arrows into them. I just fast forwarded this to like 4 times speed because there's nothing interesting or pretty about it. I'm just literally dumping my arrows into them. And as you're shooting like this, like most of the time you don't even need to readjust your aim in order to like hit someone new. When one of the guys die, that more often than not they will fill that position with a new troop, and so you don't even have to readjust in order to. Oof. Well, I feel like I took out like 20% of their power bar there at least. I feel like my troops ought to be able to handle the rest, but they've formed up in this ridiculous loose square formation that my crossbowmen love to employ. And look at the devastation. Oh my gosh. Losing so many troops. And that's the cost of falling in battle. My troops will then use terrible tactics, and it cost us 16 Blandian sharpshooters, which was the core of my warband. And we were able to replenish the numbers in my warband, but I'm not sporting the high-ranking troops that I was. Those Battanian nobles had a battle with the Blandians. It seems they had a bunch of Blandian troops prisoner, and I was able to recruit them into my warband, replenishing my overall numbers, but I still got a lot of troops that are injured, and so are not participating in this battle here. But I'm anxious to redeem myself in the eyes of my men. I can't be falling in battle and not not immediately showing them my worth, why I am worthy for them to bleed and die for. But here we are suffering pretty substantial losses again. We set out to weaken the Battanian armies by attacking their nobles individually, but we've been sufficiently weakened ourselves at this point. We've suffered like half of our troops in losses 2 battles in a row. It does give one pause. But on a personal note, Coraine just gave birth to her firstborn, her and Nathan's firstborn, a daughter, Rhea. it's always good to see, you know, the clan growing, but we need sons. We need sons to keep the clan growing, and so we'll have to find Rhea a suitable husband when the time comes. She can contribute to the Battanian cultured nobility of Calradia. Well, if nothing else, we did increase our medicine skill in these last 2 battles. We picked up the veterinarian perk there. I know in the past I've mentioned that I wouldn't pick that up, but of the 2 of them, I plan on doing a whole lot less sieging and taking siege bombardment damage. And the veterinarian perk actually helps you to get more horses from your loot after battles. So that's pretty great to have, especially early on. The more horses you have, the larger your warband can be, and you still maintain your maximum speed. So because we've had such brutal losses these last couple of battles, I'm going to try and take and shoulder the burden of this battle myself as much as possible. I'm going to try and draw these caravan troops away from their packages and crates and mules and stuff. They're hard to fight when they're entrenched with their goods, because they serve as barriers. But I dump all of my arrows into them, and I didn't get very many kills, and I wasn't able to entice them. So we're going to take the battle to them in a less than optimal situation. These Battanian caravan guards, these mounted troops, a lot of them will use throwing weapons. They use throwing axes, and I like that actually, because a lot of the time the difficult thing in fighting a cavalryman is if they block. I mean, it's really hard. Usually, if someone's gonna block me, I can use my couch lance attack in order to counter that, unless they're using a polearm themselves and are brave enough to try and time that, which does happen, but it's rarer. But if someone is throwing a throwing weapon, even if they have a shield, they are prone to your melee attacks. Like, if you hit them with a melee attack, and even if you visibly hit them in the shield with your melee attack while they're in mid throw, that attack will land, and you'll do damage to them and likely kill them. I think you might do reduced damage if you hit them in the shield. I'm not sure. But yeah, throwing weapon units are prone to melee attacks. So you just want to time them so that you're avoiding their thrown weapons at the same time when you need to, but at the same time attacking them when you know they're prone to your attacks. This is what I was talking about. It can be a nightmare trying to navigate these crates and mules. I got stood up by that polearm wielding troop there. They're called spearmen, I guess? No, a pikeman. Yeah, it's pikeman. Go ahead and give the charge command here because I feel like I've reduced their numbers sufficiently that my troops can now get involved, and I won't have to be too concerned with suffering losses. But what I forgot was that the last unit that I had selected was the infantry, and I had put them in a shield wall so that when the enemy cavalry came charging through the archer ranks, they might run into that shield wall and get stopped up. And because they're in shield wall formation, they're moving super slowly, and because I had them selected last rather than like all of my units together, they're the only ones that received that attack order. So you can see them like trickling in there in the distance. So I've effectively, if not technically, soloed this caravan warband, which is one way, if you can manage it, to avoid losses in your troops. From here, we're going to move into the Vlandian kingdom and lick our wounds from these recent near losses. Anyway, this has been episode 29 of the Black Lion Origins campaign. I hope you have a great rest of your day.